Byron, are we ready to go? Oh. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome, welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I hit one bad note.
So you are proclaiming it loud and clear.
Yeah.
I am hearing it loud and clear. Your soul is welcome here. Your souls are welcome here. Don't you love that song? Yes. So much energy. I love that. All right. So today is March. It is March 2nd. So we are lighting the yellow candle this month. The yellow candle is the power of wisdom. Are we welcoming that in here too? Yeah. So I'm lighting the candle for wisdom, and we will be lighting that every Sunday this month. And so I want you to share with me the affirmation for wisdom, which is, I am guided by divine wisdom in every thought, word, and action. Together, I am guided by divine wisdom in every thought, word, and action. Thank you. So we will be honoring wisdom all month. All right, so let's start with our affirmation. Together, there's only one power, presence, active in my life and in the universe, God the good. So this is the foundational statement for unity, and this is not an intellectual understanding. This has to come from here. We have to live that every day. And that is why we're here, right? That's why we're here. Let's be about that. All right, so my friend Gloria Leibecker is going to read the daily word today. And I think it's still sitting there. Yes, welcome, Gloria. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good to be back. So it's on positivity. Through positivity, I can do all things through the divine presence within me. I've heard it said, most people are about as happy as they make up their minds to be. These words show me the importance of positivity and how an upbeat attitude can keep me afloat upon the rough waters of life. Positivity helps me see the world as full of joy and possibility. Difficulties may arise, but my confident faith in the goodness of God gives me the power to cross the stormy seas to find calm waters and the warmth of sunshine. The light of God surrounds, enfolds, and uplifts me. When I center my thoughts on the divine within, I feel equipped to meet all challenges. God's indwelling grace sees me through the stormy days, even if squalls of sadness toss me about. By faith, I will outlast the gales and reach calm seas again. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flow the springs of life. That's Proverbs 4:23.
Thank you so much. That was an important message for each of us, as they always are. Right? I don't know why we are surprised. All right, so let's just take a minute to greet your neighbor. Go ahead and handshake or a hug or a hello or a fist bump or whatever that might be. Okay, let's remain standing when we come back to our chairs, so we're going to sing together.
Yes, we have a new community song today, but I know you know it. So here we go. Peace before us, peace behind us, peace under our feet. Peace within us, peace over us, let all around us be peace. Love before us, love behind us, love under our feet. Love within us, love over us, let all around us be love. Light before us, light behind us, light under our feet. Light within us, light over us, let all around us be light. Christ before us, Christ behind us, Christ under our feet. Christ within us, Christ over us, let all around us be Christ. Christ within us, Christ over
All right, so we have Amber here today. We were expecting to have her a few weeks back, and she's feeling healthy, and so we've been looking forward to seeing you again, Amber. And her talk is about grief, the secret spiritual power of grief. So welcome, Amber.
Right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Dana. And thank you so much for having me back, Jeff. And as Dana mentioned, I was supposed to speak a few weeks ago. Unfortunately, I came down with that horrible illness that many people had. Hopefully nobody here had it. It was not fun, not good. But I'm 100% better and so happy to be back. As mentioned, yes, thank you. As mentioned, my talk title today is The Secret Spiritual Power of Grief. This is a topic that's very important to me and something that I'm very passionate about and something that I love to speak to others on because I think there's a lot of misconceptions around death, dying, grief, etc. I was especially inspired to speak about this topic after completing my most recent Unlearning Death class. So this is a class that I've taught a few times, and basically it's a class that uncovers something that a lot of us don't talk about, which is death and dying, and that we're uncomfortable with. And of course, those things that are most difficult in our lives are often the ones with the greatest spiritual power. And so I taught this class again back in November. I had 7 students, and together we explored the spiritual power that can be found. It's not always evident, but that can be found in death and dying, as well as grief. We vulnerably acknowledge death and dying as a natural and necessary part of this human experience and spiritual journey. And we talked openly about the people we loved most and continue to love most. We shared poems, art, books, and writings that reminded us of those we had loved and lost, that were no longer physically present, but that were spiritually still very much with us. We also talked about ways that their spirits continue to connect with us and ways that we can continue to connect with them. We cried and acknowledged our grief as true and real and hard. We also laughed and remembered joy and love and its intrinsic connection to grief and our spiritual paths. As a spiritual community, it's important to acknowledge and remember that we have all experienced loss. We have all experienced trauma, and we all know grief. It connects us in very real and authentic ways, especially when we're able to openly talk about it, which is not always easy. And what can be more spiritual than that? And yet, many of us feel embarrassed or ashamed by our grief or sadness. In our Western society and capitalistic culture, we are encouraged to move on, right, after experiencing loss, or to get over it. Maybe people don't say it like that, but the underlying message of a lot of grief and difficulty and pain is that we need to get over it. Anybody else have that sense with our culture? Especially if our grief lasts too long. Like, who decides that, right? We're told to distract ourselves with being productive or doing something else. Distract yourself. Get over the grief. Move on, right? And this is because grief feels uncomfortable. It feels uncomfortable within us, and it feels uncomfortable oftentimes, not always, to others. And so a lot of times what we do to cope is we distract ourselves. We try to hide it. We apologize for our strong feelings and emotions, our tears, our sadness, which can create an unhealthy displacement of grief that comes out in other ways, maybe other unhealthy, unproductive ways, right? Such as extreme anger, fear, blame, shame. But I am here, I believe, as part of my spiritual path, to be a loud voice in others' consciousness that disputes our culture and our society's resistance to grief, to vulnerability, because it's just not the truth. The truth is, grieving is a spiritual act. It means We've loved intensely, and equally, we have lost intensely. So what exactly is grief? According to the dictionary, grief is the emotional response to loss, such as, and this is often what we associate grief with, such as the death of a loved one. That can be an intense emotional response to loss. The other things that grief can also come from is a serious illness. It can come from the loss of a relationship or part of our identity, right? It can come from a trauma that we've experienced in our lives. It can also be a reaction to any event that challenges our sense of normalcy, right? What's normal for us. If that gets disrupted, it can result in an emotional response. That is grief. And grief infiltrates every part of our life and is a powerful psychological response that encompasses a variety of different types of losses. Those that I just mentioned, again, the loss of a loved one, relationship, a job, a career, a marriage, a dream, an unmet goal, the life we thought we would have. How many of you experienced that, where you thought your life was going to go one way, and it did not go that way, right? And that's the beauty of the spiritual path, if we can see it that way. It might also be, the loss of something that we had hoped for. Like for me, it was, a different president, or no offense, no, there is offense, a different president, or the type of government we thought we would have, right? Grief affects every single one of us and is part of what we signed up for here on earth. And while grief is a shared experience among humans, the way grief and loss affects each of our individual lives is unique to our own spiritual journey and to our own path. It's unique to our path, and it's something that we should acknowledge and be open to. It's teaching us something. When someone we love dies, or we lose an important relationship or job or our health, or life as we knew it changes completely, the path and the journey we were comfortably on takes an unexpected turn in a direction that we did not willingly want to go. We did not want to go that way, did we? Oftentimes. It was unexpected and not something we asked for. We are forced onto a new and different path, and in the beginning, it can feel very dark, scary, and lonely. And like, we're the only ones on it. Have you ever felt that way? I'm the only one that knows how this is. It feels heavy. It's too much for me. Until we remember we are never alone. And we are not the only one on our path. Because the divine truth is we have God. We have Spirit living within us, guiding us, directing us, experiencing the grief with us and as us, especially on our darkest days. As Paula D'Arcy states, and Richard Rohr, he quotes this a lot. I don't know if you know Richard Rohr. He's amazing. He's a Franciscan priest he's just a mystic. He's a modern-day mystic. I love his work. And he quotes Paula D'Arcy as saying, God comes to us disguised as our life. Isn't that good? God comes to us disguised as our life. And for me, what that says is that God is disguised as our grief. God is as much in our grief as God is in our life. It's all connected. It's all together. It's all part of it. And that life was not meant to be easy. But it is meant to lead us where we are meant to go, with God. Also, what if and again, this is about grief. So what if there's more to grief than what we've been told or what we have believed to be true about it? Again, like I said, I feel like in our culture, oftentimes grief is looked at as kind of a weakness or something that you have to get over. But what I'm here to tell you is that that is absolutely a lie. As I've mentioned in previous talks, most, if not all, of the spiritual guidance and direction I have personally received through Spirit, and I'm sure many of you can relate, has come from the lies that I had internalized and believed to be true, especially the truths generally accepted in our culture and society. but that I eventually, over the course of my life, experienced as absolutely untrue. And the unlearning of those lies is what's allowed me to experience divine truth. I think you can all relate to this as well. And it often goes against everything we have been told. For example, I've had to unlearn the lies about God. Have you? Yeah, that's why we're here. I've had to unlearn the lies about death and dying, about our purpose here, about the nature of existence. We didn't come to this earth just to make money, retire, and die. Did we? I hope not. I've also had to unlearn the lies I've been told about what has meaning and purpose in my life. And I've also had to unlearn the lies that I've been told about grief. We have not been taught that grieving is a spiritual act. But again, I am here to tell you it is. And guess what? There is science to back it up. Everyone likes some science. Although I'm not one of those people that has to have science to tell me something's true. I can believe it internally and know that, it feels true to me. But this particular, scientific kind of information was really helpful for me to change my mind, the lens that I had about grief. But in this case, yeah, the science enlightened me, and it resonated as absolutely true in my heart. And as always, it came from Spirit and was presented to me in a creative form through an Instagram video from a physician and educator who specializes in internal medicine and hospice care. His name is Dr. Zach Bush, and I don't know if anybody's heard of him, but you have? Okay, cool. So if you follow him or look at him up on his website, really, really amazing background and just profoundly, I feel like he's very spiritual and scientifically backed, so it's a nice balance. But he shared a powerful video based on research that he and his team had done. And what this research was looking at was the power of authenticity and its relationship to grieving. Okay? I don't have the video available because it was like through Instagram. It was super fast and it was like, so I don't have it to show you, but I am going to give you the play-by-play, what the video said. So the first part of this video states this: the frequency that is the highest thing a human can do is the experience of authenticity. 1 split second of authenticity will generate more energy than love, fear, guilt, shame, all put together. And so we need to become our authentic selves. That sounds true, right? Yes. Isn't that why we are all here? To become our authentic self, also known as our higher self. I believe that everyone in this room, in this spiritual center, is here for this purpose, to seek and connect more fully with what is true and divine and in alignment with Spirit through our own life experiences. And more importantly, through our own life resistances, right? Resistances are teaching you something. They're trying to help you with getting to your authentic self. So pay attention to your resistances because they are communicating something through Spirit. Because that is where God lives, in our everyday experiences and in our resistances. Again, God comes to you disguised as your life. God comes to you disguised as your life. Most of us have experienced what it's like to follow societal and family norms and to live for other people and to put up a facade that wasn't truly us. That's usually what happens in the first part of our life, is that we're doing life for others. And now we're in the second part of our life and we're doing life for ourselves, ideally, and with God. But you find out it didn't work. Doing things for other people doesn't work. It wasn't our authentic truth, our authentic self. And we may have been living a little bit of a lie. That is why we are here. Because we seek truth, and seeking spiritual truth leads us to our authenticity and living life as our highest selves. Okay, so that video goes on to state, this is the interesting part. And again, this is all based on his research. The easiest way to reach authenticity is through grief. Who would have known that? Grief is the most potent form of unconditional love, and it is immediately accessible to everybody. If you focus in on grief, which we have never been told to do, at least I have never been told to do that, if we focus in on grief, you will immediately go to the most authentic reality that you live. An authentic being knows grief because it has seen beauty that will be disappeared in the next moment. Again, I had never heard this, but it feels true to me. Some might ask themselves, how can grief, which is something so painful and difficult, provide us with the powerful experience of authenticity and spiritual connection? And now my question is, how could it not? Grief, by its very nature, is raw and unfiltered. It does not allow for pretense, masks, or facades. You cannot fake it. When we are grieving, we are forced to confront our true feelings, whether they are sadness, anger, confusion, or even a sense of guilt. In this way, grief becomes an invitation to be fully authentic with ourselves and where we are in that moment. Right? Oftentimes what we'll do with grief, instead of face it, is we'll distract ourselves from it. We'll push it down. We'll keep it in our bodies. And that's when grief turns into something that it's not, right? Authenticity is the ability to show up in, this is again part of the video I was talking about. Authenticity is the ability to show up in the world as we truly are, without trying to be something we are not, or hiding parts of ourselves that we fear others will reject. It is a state of being that requires courage and honesty, qualities that are often cultivated during times of intense emotional challenge, such as grief. When we experience grief, we cannot help but be our authentic selves, because it forces us to acknowledge our humanity in its most vulnerable form and the temporality of the world we live in. There is no pretending when we are grieving. Our emotions are powerful, and they demand to be felt and expressed. Through this process, we reconnect with the core of our inner being, with God. And when we allow ourselves to do so, that's the key, when we allow ourselves to do so, we often discover a deep well of love and compassion that was previously hidden beneath the surface, because we didn't get to it. We didn't go deep into our grief to find out where it's trying to take us. We stopped it. We halted its teaching. This is what our culture tells us to do. And what I'm telling you is, let's work on not doing that. And I'll give you some strategies. Okay, so the video goes on to state, let me make sure I got it, yeah. Touch into grief for a moment. Then you will know the frequency of authenticity. And then stay in that authenticity and ride the wave of grief. And it will take you straight into joy. It will take you into an ecstatic state so fast, only if you ride the wave of grief, instead of withdrawing from it. And so riding the wave of grief into your authenticity will reach the highest frequencies and manifest a new world. He mentions a few times in here, riding the wave of grief. And I understand why he's really emphasizing this, riding the wave of grief. Many of us have been trained to swim away from the wave and the grief, or to jump off mid-ride, or to displace our own grief with something else that's comfortable, that we know, like anger or blame or shame. We halt in whatever way possible the intense feelings of grief so that the wave of emotions cannot overtake us. We are afraid of it. But here's the thing. Riding the wave of grief means we have to allow it to do its work so that we can connect with what's beyond it. The fear can stop us from getting to what's beyond it, but I think the fear, we have a bigger picture of what the fear is than what it really is, right? Because it's God. God is behind that fear. So how do we do that? How do we ride the wave of grief and authenticity into joy and into a new world? So here are some suggestions. And like I said, Dr. Zach Bush, he has a whole, I think he does classes around this, but this is what I gleaned from his work. 1, feel the fullness of grief and allow yourself to safely express it. Instead of trying to fix grief, deny it's there, or quickly move through it, Dr. Bush advocates for deeply feeling the emotions that grief brings and to express and release them in whatever way that feels like would be helpful, right? So that could be cry, hit a pillow, scream, run, yell, write a letter, tap into it, and allow yourself to release and express what comes up. It might be strong emotions, and that's okay. It's actually good to release those emotions, otherwise they stay stuck. 2, release control. This one's a tricky one. We as humans love to control things, and we like to pretend that we have control, right? Grief often comes with a desire to control or make sense of the loss. That's the other thing we try to do, is make sense of it. Use our head, our logic to make sense. That's not how God operates, right? Riding the wave means letting go of that need for control and instead surrendering to the process of feeling what's going on. Your body tells you what's going on. This release can lead to a greater sense of peace and acceptance and an understanding that God is showing us as our life, and it is our job to allow it, to be open to it, to receive it. That's not always easy, I understand that. 3 is embrace vulnerability. Grief has the power to make us feel raw and vulnerable, and for many of us, this is uncomfortable. It's difficult. It's something, again, that our society tells us is not okay. We need to be strong and, just make things happen. If you're vulnerable, it's kind of like a weakness, but that is absolutely, again, another lie. It is untrue. It is precisely in this vulnerability that we find authenticity. That's where we find God. Dr. Bush suggests that by fully allowing ourselves to be vulnerable in the face of grief, we open the door to more genuine connections and deeper love. 4, stay present. Grief is often a painful reminder that life is fleeting. It's temporary. By staying present and experiencing grief without judgment or distraction, we connect to the frequency of authenticity. This presence allows us to feel and express our emotions in whatever way they need to be felt and expressed. So staying present with it. 5, understand grief as a spiritual teacher. Again, when we can change, I love the term unlearning, because we learn and we just being born into this society, this culture, your family, whatever it was, we learn things, right? It's almost like it's in our bodies what we think is true. And again, at least in my experience, most of it is not true, especially when we're seeking that spiritual depth, that spiritual truth. So a lot of unlearning has to take place. So unlearn what you think is true about grief. That's my suggestion. Instead of seeing grief as something to be avoided or conquered, view it as a teacher. It is through grief that we can reach a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. It opens us to unconditional love by reminding us of our shared humanity, because we have all, again, experienced grief. We all have grief within us, don't we? We all do. And finally, number 6, trust the process. Grief does not follow a set timeline, and it often has unexpected ebbs and flows. Riding the wave, again, that's a good metaphor. Trust the process of grief, knowing that it's part of the larger spiritual journey toward healing and connection that is unique to your life and to your journey and to what you're going through. And, I might even suggest, I just thought of this, connect to that energy of grief that is flowing through you from maybe the person that passed or the job that you lost. That energy can inform you of what's going on. If you just sit with it, ask it for its guidance. I always ask my mom for guidance, and she always brings it to me in the most unexpected ways. And so when we call that loving spirit, that loving presence into our misunderstanding of what's going on, we often receive insights and messages that we would have never expected. We just have to be open to it and ask for it. In essence, riding the wave of grief means embracing what comes up and allowing it to move through us, as us, in whatever way or form it takes. And remembering that through grief, you have ignited authenticity, which again is the most powerful frequency a human can experience. He says in this video, it's like 1,000 times more powerful than even just the feeling of love. So authenticity is as powerful, if not more, than love. Of course, love is part of authenticity, but when you bring authenticity into your life, it's powerful. So to reiterate, grief is not something to be feared or avoided. It is a sacred, transformative emotion that, when embraced, leads us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the divine. Anytime we feel loss or that sense of grief come up, we have the opportunity to honor our pain and open ourselves to the unconditional love that grief holds. By touching grief, we touch authenticity, and in doing so, we come closer to the divine that is always present, both within us and the world around us. We also have the opportunity to help others with their grief, to be a receiver, not necessarily to take it on, but to sit with someone who is grieving. And no need to give advice, no need to counsel, just be. Allow someone else to grieve in the way that they need to, and just to be someone that sits with it. That is so powerful. I don't know about you, but when someone that I love is grieving, I feel that power of authenticity, especially when maybe something unexpected comes through them. Maybe it's a scream or a cry. It's powerful. And the worst, one thing not to do is to tell them to calm down, right? No. To allow them to be with it and for yourself to allow it is hugely powerful. It affects you, it affects that person, and it is transformational. That's where the transformation happens. So as we navigate these changing times and our own experiences of grief, let's remember that grief is not a burden to bear alone. It is a powerful force that can lead us to a greater connection, healing, and a greater love. By embracing grief and riding its wave, we allow ourselves to live more authentically and, in turn, experience the true meaning of unconditional love and authenticity, which is what this God life is all about. And so it is. Amen. All right. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do meditation now. Does that work? Did I do that? So let's take this into a time of meditation, a time to connect and breathe into this here and now present moment. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Feel the support of your chair on your back and legs. Feel your connection to the earth below and the sky above. Imagine roots falling with the weight of gravity from the center of your feet down through the floor, down into the dirt, the rocks, and the rubble below. Extending further down and connecting directly with the center of Mother Earth. Allow her earth energy to fill those roots and to fill your body. Now I want you to imagine a beautiful ray of sunshine beaming directly into your third eye. Feel the sunbeam's warmth as it fills your mind, body, and spirit with its light energy. Allow this beautiful earth and sun energy to meet in the middle, in your heart space. As you continue to deeply breathe in and out. Now I want you to bring into your awareness, into that heart space, something or someone that you deeply love and appreciate. This may be a dear friend, a family member, a loved one who has passed on, a treasured pet or beloved child, or a fond memory. Picture it now. Allow this feeling of deep love and appreciation to fill your heart. Imagine this love, this appreciation overflowing from your heart and filling this entire room and everyone in it with light and love. Together we create a field so powerful, it extends beyond this time and place. So now let's take a few moments to connect with the spirit, with this feeling of love and appreciation as we go deeper into the silence. Sweet Spirit, we give thanks for this field of light and love that we have collectively brought forth. We ask that it be carried with us now and into the future as we go forth into the divine presence of the world all around us. We are so thankful for your guidance, for your connection with ourselves and others. And for this, we are so thankful. And so it is, God. Amen.
I invite you to sing along if you would like. Sea renovado, la faz de la tierra. Sea renovado, la faz de la tierra. Spirit of the living God, burn in our hearts and make us a people of hope and compassion. Envía tu espíritu, envía tu espíritu, envía tu espíritu, sea renovada la faz de la tierra. Sea renovada la faz de la tierra. Wind of promise, wind of change, friend of the poor, empower your people to make peace and justice. Envía tu espíritu, envía tu espíritu, envía tu espíritu, sea renovada la faz de la tierra, sea renovada la faz de la tierra. Breath of life and holiness, heal every wound and lead us beyond every sin that divides us. Envía tu espíritu, envía tu espíritu, envía tu espíritu, sea renovada la faz de la tierra, sea renovada la faz de la tierra, sea renovada la faz de la tierra.
Amber, my heart is so much fuller because you took us to that place. You're a gift. And the timing was perfect. I appreciate it so much. All right, so this is the time when we collect our gifts. So giving with intention creates an energetic flow through your mind and heart, creating more abundance for both the recipient and the giver. So thank you for that. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Doug. Please share with me our love offering blessing together. Divine love in, through, and as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Amen. Okay, together we will share the unity statement for peace. Together, unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths to God, the many ways to worship God. For there is one power and presence of God, and that God loves each one of us equally. It is therefore the position of unity to urge all nations, their leaders, and their people to turn to God by whatever the name for guidance during these challenging times, and to pursue peace, for this is what honors the God of all faith traditions. That makes me feel so grounded. All right, announcements. We are looking for some volunteers. Platform for assistance, for instance. Daily word readers, people to help serve snacks after service, etc., etc. Please come forth. Come forth and share your gifts. Sacred Support Circle is meeting twice a month, and the next one will be next Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. A Course in Miracles, a weekly Zoom meeting. So in order to get the Zoom link, you need to email Jeff, UnityJeffTawney, Tawney, @gmail.com, and just join in. Y'all come. All right. We also are having our meditation on Wednesday. It will be at 6 o'clock this week, so I'd welcome any of you here for that. All right, we don't have any youth today, but we are going to offer this blessing for all of ourselves, right? So together, be the love we are, sing the song we hear, share our joy of life with people far and near. Thank you. All right, let us join in and sing the peace song. All right, we will say together the prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.